Welcome to the Gen X Journey podcast. Dive into all things important to Gen Xers, from advice on aging parents, expert interviews, product reviews, and heartfelt conversations. So put down the joystick, grab your Walkman, dust off your old yearbooks, and welcome to the Gen X Journey.
Hey everyone, and welcome again to another episode of the Gen X Journey podcast. And if you recall, our friendly time machine way back decided to throw us a curveball a couple of episodes back and sent us back to look at the year of 1985. We hope you enjoyed the first couple of episodes that were talking about the top movies of 1985. But today we thought we would take a smaller screen into play, and we're going to start with Steve to talk about the events and the best shows and things that happened in the world of television in 1985. So Steve, take it away.
You bet. Thanks, Keith. So as we think about 1985, I was 12. Keith, you were like, what, teenager year,
Yeah.
13, and Noel, you
like
were
3.
6.
Yeah.
And
Something like that.
Fetus.
Mm-hmm.
But so very much like TV was very much a entertaining part of our big part of our childhood. A lot of great shows during the time and everything. And really 1985 was one of the biggest years in TV growth. Really, the mid 1980s saw the rise of cable television with networks like MTV. You remember what the first song on MTV was?
Ooh.
Video killed
Trivia. I didn't know there's going to be a trivia question.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yep, Video Killed the Radio Star.
How about that?
the Buggles.
Yep.
Man.
So,
Points for Keith.
yeah.
It's the only trivia I know.
Yeah. So the 80s saw CNN, of course, ESPN, and always think about the anchor man when Ron Burgundy interviewed ESPN was, 24-hour sports. No one's ever going to need that. And of course, HBO expanding their influence, and TVs became easier to use due to the addition of remote controls and VCRs. When I was a kid, I was often sent to the TV to go change the channel.
Oh yeah, you were the remote.
Yeah,
right?
and then whenever we finally got a TV remote control, it was life changing. I remember, I think it had 4 buttons on it: channel and volume, and and the power button. So 5 buttons.
Yeah, maybe 5, right?
Yeah.
Was it wired, or was it actually like remote? Because the first remote I ever had was wired.
Oh, I didn't think about that. You're
I think
right.
I know where ours was wireless. I remember it was a Zenith TV.
Or fancy.
That was big time back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
A little lightning bolt Zenith Z. Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
VCR.
It was like as big as a tape recorder, right? Like this gigantic. And it actually clicked when you clicked it. Like the clicker actually.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Click, click,
click, click, click, click, click.
Drop it, you break your toe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Also, you're doing like track and field on the remote, just trying to make channel go back and forth real fast. But anyway, so the remote controls made life easier for us children that were previously the channel changers, and
Absolutely.
then VCRs really the option to be able to record a show because you don't want to give you the option to go do something else and come back and watch it later. Being able to go rent a movie and all that good stuff. That just made the TV even more entertaining for our families.
Absolutely.
The TV ratings battles were still dominated by the big 3 networks: ABC, CBS, and NBC. But as we discussed, we started to see the cable networks start to appear, start to expand, and throughout the 80s really became a big deal. So, Noel, why don't you take us next?
I had a trivia question. I had it on ChatGPT. I was going to ask a trivia question.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay. So, you guys remember what the first thing was ever sold on eBay?
Yeah,
it was a laser pointer.
Golly, Keith is 2 for 2 tonight.
I remember you telling us that in one of the way back episodes.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah,
but
back in 1995.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's impressive. Yeah, sold for $14.83 by a Pierre Omidyar. There you go.
Oh wow.
It was sold in 1995 by eBay's founder Pierre Omidyar. Yeah, he was doing a test to see if it would actually, if you could actually buy and sell things online. He sold it for $14.83, and it was a broken laser pointer. But that's beside the point. Has nothing to do with 1985. But we were talking about trivia, so
you thought I think, and I love how you said it's beside the point since it's broken.
Yeah.
Touche on that one.
Noel, I do remember you telling us in that 1995 episode that you bought an eBay item. It was like a Superman cape.
Yeah, I remember that.
And because you just had to buy something.
Yeah, I had to. It was my testing to see if I could actually buy something, and I did.
Yeah,
I don't know why about that, but whatever.
We're wearing it tonight. That's cool. Video this one.
Yeah. All right. So back to the subject. So 1985. So TV technology in 1985 was nothing like it is today. Today, obviously, we have the LCD TVs and everything that are paper thin. But back in the old days, they had the cathode ray tube, or the CRT sets, which weighed about 5,000 pounds. You guys ever lug one of these big, heavy CRTs up several flights of stairs like I did when I was young?
Throw out your back, man.
Yeah.
Man, no kidding.
There's a reason why there wasn't more looting in those days.
Take everything but the TV.
Right.
Yeah.
Just leave it.
Who can carry those things? Yeah, I remember when I went to tech, I parked. I was staying in Weymouth Hall, and I parked on the other side of Wiggins, the dining hall, that parking lot back behind there.
Oh yeah.
And I carried my 20-inch CRT TV from behind Wiggins all the way up to my dorm room on the second floor of yeah, that thing was not light, but I was 18 years old, so I could still do that.
Yeah. 20-inch TV is more heavy than a 65-inch today. It's wild.
Yeah,
oh, sure. Totally. Absolutely. But yeah, the CRT the remote controls really weren't very common back then. Certainly was, but it complemented the VHS. Actually was beating Betamax in the home video war. If you guys remember Betamax, there was this temporary time where there was a war between VHS and Betamax for what was going to become the go-to choice for video format, and VHS won that war big time, and Betamax died slow death.
It reminds me. Do you remember the Blu-ray HD DVD competition? It was kind of the same thing of the next generation, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think the Betamax VHS was, because I mean, by the time Blu-ray came around, everybody was starting to do, like Netflix streaming and stuff. So it wasn't quite as impactful as the beta, VHS thing, I don't think.
Yeah. And when there were cable boxes back then, they were analog with like physical sliders and dials and stuff. You guys remember that? You actually had to turn a dial on the cable box.
Yeah.
You had to have it on the TV, had to be on channel 3 or channel 4 or channel 2. And then you turn the cable box to actually turn the channel and stuff. But yeah, it was bizarre.
Wow. Yeah, totally. I remember those well. I remember the first VCR we had. First time it took like 2 or 3 attempts for I feel like I had successfully programmed the VCR to record the show I wanted to get. First couple times I got it wrong. I've actually recorded something at 5 a.m. instead of 5 p.m. or things like that. And then, if you started it right at 5 o'clock, some reason you missed the 2 minutes of the recording for some reason. So if you didn't advance the tape just a little bit past the beginning of the unrecordable portion of the tape, then you were going to lose part of it. So, man, the things we've seen, guys.
I still hear my granddad's ghost telling me to set the clock on the VCR. To this day.
Yeah, that was the first thing that always was flashing. You're like, and it's like you were watching TV, it's flashing at you over and over again. Like it never goes away.
You see that green LCD look.
Yes. Right? Yes. Absolutely. So back in the day they were CRTs. So Keith?
Wild. Well, there was a couple other things I saw in the technology thing. So stereo TV actually became more widespread in 85. So it had been tested earlier, but it was around this time that the major networks and stations began to adopt the format more regularly, improving the audio quality of television. You go back and you see some of like the old Grizzly Adams shows, and that horrible sound So this is
Oh,
finally where
gosh.
sound started getting better. The other thing that I was reading too was this was the year that HD TV research was starting to begin. And so it wasn't widely known to the public in 1985. It was underway in Japan and parts of Europe on building a high definition television standard. NHK, Japan's public broadcaster, was leading research on an analog HD TV, which would eventually influence global standards in the 90s and 2000s. So pretty interesting there.
Yeah.
But going into just kind of turning the page a little bit on kind of some of the popular TV shows of 1985. And I'm telling you, this was a list that was definitely, whether it was me or whether it was my parents, this was ingrained in our household. And it starts with the number one show and probably the most popular one for several years was The Cosby Show. It was a top-rated sitcom that portrayed an upper middle class African-American family starring Bill Cosby, obviously. And not far behind it was the show that got Michael J. Fox his start. Can you all remember what show that was?
Yeah, Family Ties.
Family Ties.
Family Ties, beloved sitcom featuring Alex P. Keaton from Michael J. Fox starring in that role.
Justine Bateman.
Yes, yeah, pretty good show. Definitely another one of those sitcoms that one was one of those that you come in and you can just see the quick situational. They weren't afraid to throw in some serious moments in there. And we talked about this in the movie episode that Michael J. Fox, while he was committed to this Family Ties show during the day, he would basically sleep in a van going to record Back to the Future that released this same year. And so he was burning the candle at both ends between Family Ties and Back to the Future. So kudos to him. And I tell you, if there isn't a Gen X character, I don't know if Michael J. Fox wouldn't be one of the top up there.
Yeah,
I think
for sure.
And I know I mentioned this before, but if y'all get a chance to watch the video autobiography that he has, I believe it's on Netflix. It's fantastic. So I encourage you to do that. The next movie and the next show, and we actually have already done kind of a deep dive on this show, and that is the television show Cheers. Everybody knows your name. It's a bar in the Boston area, was hitting its stride basically in the mid 1980s. It had been around for a while, but having strong casts like Woody Harrelson and all of those folks. So Sam Malone as the prominent barkeeper and coach and Kirstie Alley and all of those people. This was kind of a transition period where they were changing some of the roles. This is kind of when Frasier started coming into the light, and so really, really great show. And I think we had alluded to it. The really neat thing is they were very conscious of making sure that people wouldn't drive drunk, and they made a conscious effort to make sure people always had rides in that show, which I thought was really, really cool. Yeah. So Cheers was the other one. The other one, which if there isn't an 80s show, I can't imagine one that's better. And we were talking about this earlier with a couple of friends of mine, is Miami Vice. Now, if you don't have a blazer and a T-shirt after watching this show, at least somewhere in your wardrobe, I don't know what's wrong with you. But, obviously, this was also one of those, and we're going to talk about Phil Collins later, but I don't think any of us can forget the intro of Miami Vice with the In the Air Tonight coming in. Definitely set the standard of what good, campy 80s police shows should be. So outrageous. Yeah. Let's give these detectives a Ferrari as their company car. How crazy can you get? Good stuff. Obviously, just one of the best shows out there. The other two after this are, this is where I say I would transition to my folks being on this, and it was Dynasty. It was on ABC, a primetime soap opera packed with glamour and drama, of course. And
those were like late night shows. Those came on after the good shows came.
Exactly. I thought of this as like after Dukes of Hazzard and Dallas, it was Dynasty or something like that. Right?
Every time I heard the theme, the theme song for Dynasty meant it was time to go to bed.
Or to go play in my room. Yeah. Either way, it was a letdown.
Yeah, definitely.
So that one, and then here's another one that most of our parents or grandparents definitely frequented, and we were checked out to go play outside when Murder, She Wrote came on. Yeah. God. If anybody our age said it's a great show, I would love a comment. Please let us know why you liked it at that age. Yeah. Angela Lansbury as Jessica Fletcher became a Sunday night staple, and that's all you got to say, a Sunday night staple, right? Yeah. There you go. Now, while we're trying to catch up on homework because we were playing all weekend, they were able to watch this show, and we were fine
Yeah.
without it. And the last one, this was several seasons along, but one of the new other stronger popular shows in 1985, David Hasselhoff as Michael Knight and his talking car K.I.T., which I loved the call out you did, Steve. Okay, so this week Steve posted on the Gen X Journey's Facebook page a list of cars to pick that was your favorite. And one of the commentators said he would pick K.I.T., but he only spelled it K-I-T, and you called him out on it because it's 2 T's. And I love
It's
that.
2 T's.
I love that. Knight Industries 2000, right?
Yep.
Something like
Yep.
that.
That's
Or
right.
2000.
Yep.
2000.
You know,
I can't remember which.
2000.
You realize you realize all the technology that K.I.T. had, like the auto drive, voice recognition, all that kind of stuff is like standard in cars these days.
Yeah.
Well, not
Crazy.
standard, but it's an option in
It's
some of the
up
cars
there.
these days.
Or you can at least plug your phone into it and it would do the same thing, right?
Yeah. Just missing the ejector button.
Oh, totally.
Ejector seat.
And the turbo boost.
Yeah.
So yeah. I love Night. Did you all love Knight Rider? I love Knight Rider.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I loved it so much. Like when I rode my bike around the neighborhood, I pretended like I had this little flashing red light across the front of my bike.
So cool.
I was like, wish I could put one on my bike.
Oh, I know. I remember when one of the new Camaros came out and they had the grill that had the hole in there, and I'm like, somebody's got to put a light there. Somebody needs to do that yesterday. So anyway, but those were some of the more popular shows of 1985. So Steve, let me turn it back over to you for some other nostalgic thoughts on television.
Before I get into children's TV and animation, I'm curious. Put yourself back in 1985. Which of these shows on this list that we just went through of Keith was your favorite show?
Oh, Knight Rider, hands down, no question.
Yeah.
Yep,
no question.
Yep,
yeah,
same here.
Yeah,
like I appreciate Cheers a lot more now, and I enjoyed Cosby Show, but definitely Knight Rider was. I wanted to be Michael Hasselhoff or whatever his real character's name was.
Michael Hasselhoff?
Oh yeah, no doubt. Michael Knight, right? David Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
At that point, I would have been happy with a single chest hair. He had like a bunch of them.
Oh, I know. Like, holy cow!
Had a
Pretty
plethora.
wild. Going more down the list, there
Did
was
you say
also...
you have a plethora of chesters? I have a plethora.
So going down this list more, here's some other ones. So like Dallas was on here. Who's the Boss? If you remember that one, the Golden Girls. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, I still watch the Golden Girls and crack up. It's great.
We do too.
Yeah. And also Night Court was also one of the top 10 shows, and I love Night Court. We've talked about that one before too. Such a great show. So yeah, there was some good stuff at this time. A-Team was still out there. So yeah, pretty good year of television. So
heck yeah. So, diving into some children's TV and animation. So one of the big shows, and I love this show, for kids was the Transformers. And, for all the Star Wars stuff y'all probably had, I had a lot of the Transformers. I mean, Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
I was often seeing the driveway with Optimus Prime and taking on the Decepticons and all that good stuff. I tell you, bad guys.
I was giddy as a schoolboy when that first movie came out. I don't think the rest of them have been to the standard of the first movie that Michael Bay did years later, obviously not right now, and I'll tell you, the Transformers movie, the cartoon movie, was fantastic. I don't know if you ever saw that one, but yeah. So good show. I love the Transformers. All of these that you're about to talk about just make me happy.
Yeah. I mean, it was a great time for cartoons. G.I. Joe, man, that was a great show. I don't think I've watched that near as much as the others. Thundercats is on this list.
Oh man, Thundercats.
And that was different. I thought that was sort of weird, but
I tell you, it's gotten a cult following recently, though. I mean, oh yeah, you talk to some people that really are cult followers of Thundercats. They're calling for a movie and all sorts of stuff. I never really watched it much, but yeah, I was kind of like you. I'm like, this is a little awkward, but a lot of people love it. So
yeah. Of course, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. I mean, that was awesome. And the
Masters of Greyskull.
By the power of Greyskull.
And they're coming out with a new movie for that right now, aren't they?
Are they?
I believe so.
Recycling.
Yeah, they are.
Is it animated or is it like?
No, it's real life. Real life. Yeah.
I was going to try out
And
for the He-Man role.
You should, man.
you should.
Yeah,
Yeah,
should.
the guy playing He-Man is. Hang on, I'll find it.
Jack Black.
Nicholas Galitzine. Nicholas Galitzine. I'm sending this to y'all. I don't see it, but
it's animated though, right?
No,
so he just has to have the.
No, this is live action. This is a live action movie. Yeah. So I just cannot see it. I hope it's good, but I just can't see it. So
what?
Yeah, there you go. Enough said.
Have they ever seen the actual show?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Dude,
hopefully,
what a goober.
Hopefully he's bulked up. We'll see. I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. It'll be all good.
I'm not.
I know, right?
It's gonna be
an
a
emo
disaster.
version of He-Man wearing skinny pants.
Yeah, it will be skinny jeans.
Yeah. No, you have a second career in movie casting because you nailed it with Jack Black being He-Man. In my opinion,
that would be a good one.
I should.
Yeah,
I should consider a second career.
Especially with if you're casting He-Man at 50+ years of age,
he would be the
Black is perfect.
I can think of anybody. You name any show like Cosby Show. If you wanted to redo that one, that's easy. I would put I would put probably like Jack Black on that one too. As Neil, Huxtable.
Hey, I've got an idea. What if you redid Knight Rider? Who would you put in the lead?
Jack Black, probably.
I figured you would. Yeah. I totally teed you up for that.
I'm stuck.
I teed you up for that one.
Real easy.
Man.
Appreciate that. Well, you teed it up.
And before we finish off on the children's TV shows, I have to go back and tell you that this was the year that Mask was on. And I still love Mask, and I will fight to the grave to say that that's not the best cartoon intro ever of children's shows. Thank you. I'm done.
I still don't know that I've ever seen that. So.
I love it, and I'm going to say it. It was the year it was out, and I'm done.
Wasn't there a movie like called The Mask or something?
Yeah, not the same.
With Jim Carrey.
Well, there was that one, and then there was that other guy, right? That had kind of deformed.
The other one,
right?
The other one is what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
that was not the best movie.
No, it was a little hard to watch. So
it was a little hard to watch.
Yeah. So
all right. So we talk about notable premieres in 85?
I think we should. Let's go.
I got one more. Hey, hold on.
Whoa.
Sorry.
So then, the king of children's cartoons in 1985 was absolutely Saturday morning cartoons. Were a major TV ritual for us. So we've talked about what's our favorite breakfast cereal to eat while we're watching Saturday morning cartoons. Mine's still Frosted Flakes. That will never change.
Yeah.
Noel loved Cold and Blow Fiber Brand.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that didn't scrape your innards. I don't know what will.
How many bowls of Cold and Blow would you need to eat?
It's like Captain Crunch is the cereal version of pumice.
It really is.
But it's really so good. I can't say I never ate it. I love it.
What would it be like if you ate sandpaper? That's pretty much it. Sugar-coated sandpaper.
Let's do it.
All right.
Anyway, so that is the children's TV and animation.
Nice.
1985.
The funny thing is all these other ones, like the first 4 bullet points are specific shows. And then the last one is all you have to say is Saturday morning cartoons.
Yep.
And that covers like 6 different cartoons, but everybody knows exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
100%. 100%.
So there were some pretty notable premieres in 1985. Looking at, I guess, 2 of them that were like the big ones that started in 1985 that went on for years and years after that. And I'm sure you guys watched at least one of these. The other one I'm not sure about, but MacGyver.
Oh, man. Do we not still to this day say we're MacGyvering something?
Absolutely. Yeah. Like it's part of our pop culture.
It
even
totally
like
is.
300 years ago, we're still saying let's just MacGyver it.
Oh yeah.
The one episode that I remember, and I watched a lot of MacGyver, but the one episode I remember is he went fishing and he didn't have any fishing lure or anything, or even fishing line. And so he crafted some line from something and then used a gum wrapper and then threw it out there and caught tons of fish.
It doesn't.
And oftentimes I've been out there fishing going, maybe I should get that gum wrapper and throw it on my hook, you know, make it work for MacGyver.
Just some dumb fish in that water right there.
Yeah, really. Oh, what is this? This look like a piece of gum. Is this Wrigley Chew?
Yeah.
I will bite it.
Yeah. Anybody got some juicy fruit?
Got me again.
Curses.
That's what got Joe last week.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Joe the fish.
PSAs down underwater, like, don't go for the gum wrapper. It's bad for you. Don't go into the bubbles.
So go into the juicy fruit.
Like telling the kids, don't go into the white van if somebody's offering you candy and stuff. Don't go into the Anyway, the other show that started in 1985 was Moonlighting. It starred Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd.
Yeah.
That was one of those that I turned off too. It seemed too serious for me back then.
It was at that bridge gap, I think, between like you should be at least in college to start watching this to get it. I never watched it either. I was like, It was kind of like up there with Hunter and what was the one that Pierce Brosnan was in? Remember what was that one? Where he was the detective but had the same detective name as the girl.
Yeah. Steel? No,
Remington Steele.
Remington Steele, yeah.
Yeah. Kind of up there with that, right? So anyway, but this was what got Bruce Willis's start, right?
It was.
That got him going, and right before good old Die Hard took over his life, right?
Yeah.
Man. I'll tell you, did you all see the was it Christmas? I don't remember, or it was his birthday, like his latest birthday, and they had a YouTube video that they showed the family and him, and he looked like he was happy and having a good time, and I was glad to see that. I know he's been going through a time with he's got some, I believe, dementia, right, or Alzheimer's or something. So I was really glad to see him happy. That was awesome. Very cool.
Yep.
Definitely a fixture in Gen X lives was Bruce Willis for sure.
So
very cool.
Yep.
So
LA Law was another show that wasn't debuted in 1985, but it was one of those other shows that was back there in that day that it was too serious for me. I couldn't quite follow along, but a lot of people, like older people at the time, watched that a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. That was definitely a good one. And also, believe it or not, the debut of some successful TV syndicated shows came on, like Wheel of Fortune and Oprah Winfrey. It was started as a local show in Chicago and would go national in 1986. That was a big one. Never watched it, but we can't say that it wasn't a big deal, you know.
That's the truth.
First run syndication was becoming a powerful force in 1985, bypassing traditional network systems. So in addition to cable, syndication was starting to become more prominent too. So lots going on, actually. It was kind of a really interesting transitionary period, I guess, for TV. Pretty neat. So
true that.
Very glad that Wayback was able to share this year so we could go back and kind of revisit some of this fun. This was a fun year so far.
Yeah. Always fun to go back.
Absolutely.
Go way back.
So we will have some more different editions of things we're going to talk about in 1985. We'll have a few other different things we're going to be sprinkling into the mix of the next few episodes, but we are going to continue through the summer for some of the nostalgic events from 1985, in addition to some other things. So we definitely hope you stay tuned.
Hey, you know what the cassette tape said to the pencil in 1985? Speaking of 1985.
Well, what's that?
Steve, anything?
You
spin me right round, baby, right round.
Nice.
Sorry.
Nice.
Sorry, Steve. There's no pressure to come up with a joke right now. It was just something I came up with.
As I reach for my phone and
Steve's popping a Xanax. Oh my god.
Crap, we're doing this again.
Good stuff. Anyway, just had to throw that in there.
Oh, that's funny. I like that one.
All right.
Well, right round. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Thanks.
He's looking up a joke, aren't you?
I was trying to. I was trying to find in the 80s, but I don't have the speed. So I think I'm just gonna leave it with the pencil and the cassette tape. So that's about this time period and perfect. Why even try to beat that?
All right.
This was a fun one.
Enjoyed it, fellas. Thanks everybody for going on the way back journey with us to 1985. It was a good one.
We'll talk to everybody later.
Take care.
See you, buddy.
The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in the Gen X Journey podcast belong solely to the hosts and guests and do not necessarily represent the views or opinions of any entity they are associated with. The information provided is for entertainment and informational purposes only and should not be considered professional advice. Listeners are encouraged to seek the advice of qualified professionals for any specific issues they may face. The creators and contributors of this podcast make no representations as to the accuracy, completeness, or validity of any information, and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its use.